Welcome in to Pin It Deep. We are atop KS Bar as always. Me, Miles Butler, Brent Wainscock. Or is it Brett Wainscock? Which one is it now these days? It changes almost every week.
It used to be Rainscott for a while.
Rainscott?
Actually, because when the first time I actually started working at the news station, that was the year, like 2019, where it fucking rained every single game. So
they changed your name to Rainscott?
Yeah, just for, just a little bit, because I was the only one who would just shoot it. So
I'm going to go with Wainscock.
That's okay.
So we're here with the NIU game is complete. As Max Duffy predicted on the pregame show, 100% chance of winning, and we did. My voice is a little messed up again, I must admit. Still pretty messed up. Ryan Lemon, I think, might have given me his cold. So, Miles, you can sit closer if you want. I want to start the show with a little bit unorthodox. We've done this every now and then. We normally do it when we get we ask for the questions, and when we get a really good one, we normally kick it off. This one's from an account, Max_Duffy.
Okay.
Not even starting with the game.
Hi, guys. Max and Miles seem to be doing a really good job with the big dogs of the week, but Brent completely fucking sucks. Why is that, and can he be banned from picking the big dog? Well, gee, that's a great question, Max. Let's get to that, because we had the big dogs of the week where we have to pick an underdog that is 10 points more or 10 points or more underdog. Yes. Yeah. I picked Kansas State. They won.
Do we pick them to cover the spread?
No, we do not pick them to cover the spread. We pick them to win.
To win the game.
Kansas State beat Oklahoma. Miles, what was yours?
You play the game to win it.
What was yours?
Navy. Midshipman, David Robinson.
And what happened with their game?
They won in overtime, maybe double.
And Brent Wainscock, if you can remind me, what was yours? USF, was it, against Louisville?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the result? What was the score? Do you remember that game?
They got shit-housed. It was pretty bad. It was like, what, 48-3?
No, pretty bad's like we lost by a couple scores.
Yeah.
It was a tough now.
The spread, I'll remind you, was 14. So, I'll give you –
and a half.
You can get your little olive branch if you want if you can cover, you choose your big dog and maybe they cover. You could be like, they covered, they didn't win. 41-3. Not even close.
I just want to remind
24 points worse than the spread.
Remind what?
For those who did listen, Max was like, oh, shit, can't believe you took USF today.
Because I was so disappointed in your pick.
Yeah,
I was like, as soon as you brought it up, I was like, oh, my God, I can't believe you took that one. Because I was like, that is the worst big dog selection I've ever seen in my life.
Apologize.
I will not be doing that.
We could have had a parlay that probably would have brought in the profits of this show times a million, because this is zero. So zero times a million is actually zero.
Okay. Yep.
So a million more than this show. But no, you've just thrown us in the dirt.
I will take blame. I did say bet responsibly, so kind of cleared that. It's not like
you don't have to bet responsibly if you win.
That's what I'm saying.
Fair. I know this is a grudge from the Packers-Bears bet last week, but that's okay.
So please be better, because we gave two winners right here.
Our backs are hurting because we've been carrying the load the last few weeks.
Yep.
Can you pick it up, because I'm tired of carrying and blowing the loads over here.
I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah. Correct.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we just need to start off with that. That was a good question, so thank you for that. Very quickly, just for the listeners, the Twitter space was a success on Friday night.
Was it?
I thought
Except
so.
for you.
Except for you.
We had a lot of people, a lot more than we actually expected. I think we got to about 200 people at some stage. You were a minute behind us for some reason.
I think it happened when I switched from my car to just my regular phone, and it was bad. Like, there was a second where y'all were being quiet, and I was like, what are we doing?
So I'm going to try and give the people just a sense of what it sounded like, Brent. I'm going to ask you a question about the game right now, and me and Miles are going to discuss it, and then we're going to move on. And when we move on, you answer the question that I asked you, okay? All right. How did we go with NIU last night, Brent? Miles, I thought the game was great, whatever. We won by a lot.
We did not.
Everyone went well. All this kind of stuff. What do you think about NFL today? You got any good picks for us?
Well, I mean, Kentucky,
And then we shut up. Literally, you were a minute behind us.
I was so confused. I thought y'all were just like, it was one of those things like, oh, let's just give Brent a hard time. No, apparently it was just an absolute clusterfuck.
It brought some laughs, though, which was great. And Luke Fortner sounded like he was in a wind tunnel.
He was.
Didn't hear a word he said.
So I don't know where he was going off his phone.
Probably
or what
in
he
that
was doing.
big Miami mansion of his,
I guess so, but you'd think you'd have enough money. As Logan Stimberg said, you'd think you'd have enough money to buy a new phone. But we're going to do the Twitter space again. We might do it Wednesday this week. We're not sure if Wednesday or Friday is a better day for everyone, so we're just going to kind of maybe poll people tomorrow or something and work out where the best thing is going to be. But I thought it was great. Keep those auditions coming in. We haven't had a whole lot. So if you want to be on this show.
We've had two.
We've had two.
Can we tell the story of Autumn?
Who?
Sure.
It's good.
I mean, you can go for it.
Brent doesn't even know that this happened. So we're sitting there. I'm in charge of who gets into the lobby and who gets in the who's like allowed to speak. The first name I see is Autumn. I forget her last name. Autumn wanted to speak. Max used to court, date,
yeah.
maybe marry someone named Autumn.
Oh.
And for a half second, him and Luke Fortner thought I was letting that Autumn into the chat.
Luke messaged straight away and was like, I really thought that was actually going to be Autumn, and she was just going to start yelling at Max.
Yelling at you.
Dude,
yeah.
that would be some great entertainment if, maybe an X or two hopped in on the chat. I would think that'd be good entertainment.
It'd be really funny.
Our favourite segment, just to start off the show as always, True or Not True. Mark Stoops loves it. Mark Stoops had a great quote last night, Miles, in the media. What was it?
It was something about running the ball and how they don't appreciate it now.
Tell you what, we'll get Brent to upload that for us, starting now.
We're creating some big plays. Yes, I think we want to be a little more consistent in the run game. See, everybody appreciates the run game now. For 5 years, y'all didn't appreciate shit. I'm joking. Everybody relax.
Yeah, that was good. So what did we get from it? What a man, by the way.
From his quote or from him?
His quote and him.
The fact that we didn't play that well and he's still in that kind of giggly cutting up mood after, he has got something saved for next weekend. His name's Chris.
That is, yes, correct.
Yes.
That is who
That's
he's
a
got
big
up
deal.
his sleeve. And it would be a huge sleeve because that man is a big man, Chris Rodriguez. It is
he
funny.
got engaged this week. Congrats to him, by
Yeah,
the way.
congratulations, Chris.
Wow.
Yes, congratulations. It is funny. True or not true? This is my new. I didn't actually have this question down, but we'll start with it. True or not true? You just can't please a lot of Kentucky fans.
True.
True.
That's fucking true. There's never been a more true statement ever.
We could go undefeated and win the national title, and it would be like, recruiting rankings were 2. So
I've got two views on this. One, I'm extremely happy that we now think so much of our football team, and our football team has been so good that we demand excellence. I actually kind of like it, and I've got to be honest, I do prefer a fan base like this that wants to hold everyone to account and try and make us the best we possibly can, instead of being the fan base that's like, oh, we tried hard today, that was a good effort, like, oh, we won, so that was good. Like, beating NIU by 8 isn't good enough anymore.
like Louisville this weekend, celebrating a win, but they're not playing. Like, it's like that's not the fan base that you want to be.
Imagine
at all.
taking the other team, too, in that game.
Well, it's like us, 2-1. Are we happy with our performance of Big Dogs? Absolutely not.
No.
Look in the mirror and
Disgusted.
say, let's improve.
I'm disgusted.
So, but then on the other side of it, it is funny, and obviously with the Stoops quote, we were a run-heavy team for so long. We need to throw it more. We need to throw it to the tight ends, all this kind of stuff. We're throwing it to the tight ends now. We can't run the ball. We need to run the ball more.
Literally, it's crazy to see the fan base flip like that, but I think what Stoops is saying is so spot on. You've got a top 5 maybe draft pick. Why don't you use him?
Yeah, well, we do.
I would almost
Yeah.
be pro going like Mike Leach air raid with it.
Well, we were just discussing off-air, the Bills barely ever run the ball, especially if the first few run plays of the game aren't working. They just go, we'll just give it to Josh Allen. We basically have a Josh Allen back there in number 7. Mm-hmm. So why not just air it out and keep going? We got Barryon Brown, Dane Key, Tavion Robinson, 55 tight ends to throw to, Crowdus, Chauncey Mangwood. Who else have we got? Got any other wide receivers?
Did you say Dane Key?
Yeah, I
He
said
said
Dane
Dane
Key.
Key.
Yep.
We've
Sorry.
got a bunch of them, so why not just air it out? What would your run to pass percentages be this week against Ole Miss planned?
Okay, so like scrambles counts as passes, kind of?
Yeah, because
Okay.
Like, how many design pass plays would you have in comparison to runs?
Well, I mean, part of that's obviously what they do.
I would honestly go like 6-4. Six run plays.
You'd have
4
10
pass
plays.
The ratio.
You'd have 10.
I would for every 10 plays.
You'd have 10.
Not a very big play.
Okay, percentage,
Actually,
60
kind of like
I
that.
kinda-
I kind
you
of like
say-
it.
We've got 6
Keep it
bread and
simple.
butters and 4
Yep.
bread and butter runs. Good, I like it.
It works. No, it's just percentage.
60 and 40, you
60-40,
mean?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd go,
60 run.
maybe 65 pass. Run?
Yeah.
You would run at 60.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's stupid. I'd go 65
Where
pass.
have you been
What
for
have
the
you
last
been
4 weeks?
watching?
What have you been
It's
watching?
Only because Chris is back. I want to see how it goes.
Okay, if we lose next – I don't want this. If we lost 31-28 and you look at the stat line and Will was like 15 of 17, You'd be happy.
I assume we're not going to throw the ball 17 times.
Well,
You
we
just
are if
said
we're running at
60-40.
60%.
I would imagine maybe getting up to like 24. I'm assuming that we would have the ball a lot because Ole Miss is typically used to just getting the ball.
We've asked this before. When you speak sometimes, do you think about what's about to come out of your mouth?
I didn't take my
He
medicine
just-
today,
Yeah,
so
he just lets whatever come out spray everywhere. He just doesn't even.
We've just said, and you nodded your head, I said we've got an offense that is like the Bills, Josh Allen. We should air it out. We've got all these weapons. And you start naming the weapons, and then you go, I think we should run at 60-40.
exactly catch them off their guard.
He
They
would have
never
Peyton
know.
Manning and want to run the triple
You
option.
should never
Literally.
You should never know their next move.
Okay, well, I'll give you a serious answer. I would honestly be 70-30.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why not? Like, that's our strength. One thing that me and you talked about last night as well, which I think is interesting about our offense, is as much as it is explosive, people are saying, we only put up, 31 again last night,
Yeah.
I think?
Yeah.
We've put 31 up the
pretty
last 2
good,
weeks.
though.
It's pretty good. The one reason why we don't do the Alabama, and Alabama aren't super hurry up, but with Alabama, Tennessee, like the 50, 60-point games, we have the NFL style of huddle, break the huddle, and we very rarely snap it with any more than 10 seconds left on the play clock.
Correct.
So it's a slow build. Like, I remember we took in the Browns, now this is going to contradict what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to make a point. In the Browns-Steelers, they had 9 actual changes of possession in the first quarter, something crazy. Last night, there was 2. I think they had it once and we had it once. Because we just go so slow.
Yeah. And
So it doesn't really suit to scoring big scores.
I think the one positive that you can take of the run game not being that great is you would think if the run game's really struggling that they could just drop it and say, well, we're not going to let you get explosives. If you can't run it, we're going to make you throw it down the field, and we're still getting those.
Yeah.
If you remember, though, the year before Max got here in 2017, Kentucky struggled running the ball for the first half of the year. Remember, everyone was really excited about Benny.
Yeah.
First 4 or 5 games he struggled, and then something happened. I think maybe the running back coach, Henshaw at the time, made an adjustment, and then
Wow.
Go on.
and then they made the adjustment and made it fast. I think that's sort of the same thing that's going to happen because if you think about it, the O-line has struggled, and in the running back room you haven't had Chris, and going down to Florida you only had one guy. This week you had, or the last 2 weeks you had 2 other guys hurt too. So, I mean.
I'll give you a secret. You want to know what happened that year?
Yeah, what happened that year?
Fans don't actually know this.
Scoop.
Too much. The playbook was too big. So Stoops met with Gran and Henshaw. They got it down to 10 plays.
Exactly.
They had 6 runs,
Yes.
4 passes, and then, boom, offense starting to explode.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
It is going to be the ultimate test to see if we can run the ball now with no excuses with Chris back. And
None.
a fired-up, fresh Chris, too.
Yep.
Fresh Chris of Bel Air.
Fresh Chris of Bella. We should do a T-shirt with that. That's really good.
That's actually good.
Next, true or not true, and I'm already saying it's true, ESPN fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I would love to give you a recap of the first quarter, but I didn't see any of it. Not on the app. Freddie is the only one that can give us a rundown because he's the only one that listens to the radio broadcast. Couldn't see it. Me and Miles are trying to find it everywhere. We're trying to run to the stadium to get it on.
We were watching the last of, what was it, Cincinnati, Indiana.
Cincinnati, Indiana, and it was
a
over.
blowout.
And they're calling timeouts. They're reviewing plays. They're bringing the chains out.
So you all actually missed the entire first quarter.
Yeah,
legit.
Yes.
legitimately.
Yes.
Dang.
I think if they finally put it on ESPN News with a minute 30 left in the first quarter or something. And it was, so they put it on the ESPN app. The ESPN app did not have it.
So they decided to go with the 2 unranked teams instead of the
Correct.
number 8 team in the country at the
The
time.
only caveat I'll give to this is it would be like a UK fan being asked about Louisville. He does have a little bias as an employee of
Fair.
Fox.
Correct.
Yeah.
You do
That's
have a
true.
reason to bash ESPN.
Yep.
But, yeah, ESPN was a disgrace last night.
All right, I've got something extra special for us today. So, we're men of the people. We like to, get everyone's opinion. We have lots of Twitter questions, which I haven't even written down, so I need to write that down for us to do. We get Twitter questions. We like to just see what the fans think. We've got a fan on the show.
Yeah.
24/7. So here's something last night. Me and Miles were out, staying hydrated, talked to a couple of people, found Miles's other girl. So he's courting one. This is Miles's other girl. And we said, what did you think of the game? She thought we were just casually asking. I had the notebook out. She said, I don't care how we looked because the outcome was that we won. That was a good start. Then it got into the real nitty-gritty of the game. The sunset was beautiful. Other places don't have that kind of backdrop and sunset at the stadiums.
Yeah.
Other places sell alcohol, though. I snuck in alcohol. Chase it with Sprite. That's the best move. Customer service is very nice at the game, and she appreciated it. And there was a fundraiser for Frederick Douglass, which she liked a lot.
That's a hell of a game review.
Like
Good sunset. Wait, not done.
Whoa.
Then, this was when it gets a little bit, you could tell she'd have a bit to drink. Will Levis is hot. Smoke does a good job. Stoops is really hot.
Yep.
He's an actual DILF. And you know why he's a DILF? Because he's a hard worker and successful and built the program up, and that's honourable. So I really like Mark Stoops.
She said these things.
Like legit. What was our hydration level at this point?
I didn't have a meter to check it.
Not only did she say the sun. So for all that get to go the game, me and Miles did not. I'm sure the sunset was beautiful.
It was.
She had picture after picture after probably 5 to 10 pictures of the sunset as she could show us. That she helped us out.
She pulled the phone out and she was like, look at what I saw from the game. With her deep analysis, I was expecting like some formation, something on the sidelines that she picked up on, something from the box. She had the big eye in the sky look. No, it was just the sunset.
Yeah, so
just the sunset.
It's a nice sunset at Kroger Field, Brent, which is, you don't get that at a lot of places.
It is a nice sunset. I think Stoops, controls the sun sometimes. Maybe Barnhart's, that's the trade-off he has to make. Instead of alcohol, you get a nice sunset.
You don't get a sunset in the dome.
No?
I can promise you that.
Mm-mm.
Our offense at the moment, I'm going to get back to real football.
Yeah.
I kind of like
our top 5 wide receivers. I told you this. They're averaging something like, now I don't have the Freddie Maggett exact stat.
This is
it's
not
like
true.
25 yards per reception.
That cannot be true.
He put it out on Twitter.
So if he says it, it's true.
Freddie's pretty good at the stats.
25 yards a catch.
Yes. Is that not insane? And we had 3 last night over 40.
If you're only going to have that many yards a catch, though, and it's going to be one of the dink and dunk offenses, we probably should go back 60-40.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Probably not a good reason to air it out.
No.
I will say, though, the offense does look great, and I saw some tweets don't give me that look. I saw some tweets last night that made a good point, and it was sort of like, I wonder how much better, and this is, again, not to make it about the offensive line again.
It was his own tweet. I bet you it was his own tweet.
No, I didn't tweet yesterday, so. I am curious, though, how much better this offense would be if the offensive line could turn it up a little bit, because it still feels like every second or third down, Will Levis takes a sack.
I understand that, but at some point you've got to go with what you've got.
And also,
completely.
And also,
completely.
I would love it to see how this offense would be if we had Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle.
Correct. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We have Logan Stinberg back. We have Luke Fortner back. We got Darian Kennard back. All the guys back.
Outside of Buffalo and Kansas City, every offense in every level of football
has
probably
a flaw.
has something they want to be improved.
I understand.
We have good running backs. Smoke, Chris coming back. We have
60-40.
Really good quarterback. We have good tight ends. We have really good receivers. We have one flaw of the entire group. I would take that.
Yeah.
Now, it's a pretty important flaw, but one out of the whole group's not
the fat boys need to start doing their fucking job. The fat boys.
The only concern I have is that the guys we have at receiver are more like deep threat targets, except for Tavion, who you can get in space. So it's like you kind of need that time. I think, oddly enough, the deep throw that Will got to Tavion maybe in the second quarter or something, he still was almost got sacked, which he didn't. So, but maybe against the SEC defense, you don't have that kind of time to let these guys get 25, 30 yards downfield. That's the concern.
Is there a possibility that he just wants to take the harder path and loves getting sacked? He's just just give me a couple hits.
Will wants to be hit.
It's like smelling salts.
Because he does like running into people.
He likes hurdling people.
Yeah.
He hadn't busted that out yet this year.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't put the shoulder down.
That's
That's coming this week.
Yeah, that's like the Stoops breaking the whiteboard.
Well, at halftime, I put out there is no chair or whiteboard safe in that locker room going in tied with NIU, especially giving up the late touchdown.
We've been in the locker room for a few lackadaisical first halves. He either comes in and shit just starts flying, or
he'll get the smallest walk-on, either behead him or just smoke him right in the jaw and say, this is what I need. As the walk-on's on the floor just shaking around, he just goes, this is how serious I am.
That feels like something that may have happened to Miles sometime, or
maybe.
Occasionally.
Maybe. He would occasionally come in, though, and go off the rails, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Calm.
Yeah.
Hey, we're fine.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's like we're
I
tied
think
with
that-
NIU. No, it's fine. We'll just get it cleaned up. It'll be all good.
I really should have called some of the guys to see what happened, but I could almost bet you that I think it would have been the calm one last
I think
night.
so, because he was in too good of a mood
Yeah.
after the game.
It's like when you least suspected it, that's when the anger would come in.
Yeah.
And when you most suspected it and everyone's cowering behind the seats,
Yeah.
like just waiting to get the first object thrown at him, that's when he's like, what? We're good.
What's up, guys?
A little bit of Division 3
Yes.
when he walks in
Yes.
and everyone thinks he's going to swing the chair at him and he just puts it down, sits down.
I could see us being up at Georgia like 21-0, or I guess Georgia's here, but
Yeah.
being up 21-0 at half, and that's when you're like, we
Yeah.
look really good.
No,
No, not good
that's
enough.
when you
No,
never
Put
say.
the foot on their throat
Yep.
and blow them out.
Yeah. And he'd give you the visual aid of that too. He'd get someone and he'd put his foot right
I
through him.
volunteer as tribute for
Yeah,
that.
and Buff would get rid of the body. Last true or not true. Now, this is a contentious one because we have one of our own. But did NIU have the coolest coach of all time last night?
Second, if you did coaching showdowns across the sidelines,
my God.
it's like, you know how they do like McVay,
Yeah.
Kingsbury,
Yeah.
like two great
Yeah.
looking men. Nah, they didn't have anything
Nothing.
on the two last night. Two phenomenal. What's the guy's name? What was it? It
I
showed
don't-
it too.
I don't know, but it was
I need
he
to look
was
it up, 'cause
he was he was so good looking, and so was Stoops, and they were just staring at. I think they got lost in each other's eyes when they met at the middle at the end of the game.
Thomas Hammock.
Oh my God!
Wow.
What a man! What a man, Thomas Hammock. He's definitely. No, we don't do Men of the Week on Sundays anymore. We do it on Fridays or Saturdays.
Yep.
But he would have been the Man of the Week, and it wouldn't have even been close.
That was, I think Stoops led off his press conference with that of really good football team, good for us to get a win, especially versus such an attractive-looking coach.
Oh.
What a stud they both were
That's
last
why
night.
he was in such a good mood after the game. He just eyes lit up. He's just happy to see him.
And Stoops, a little bit colder last night, went pullover with the polo underneath.
What was the color of the pullover? I didn't see
And
it.
blue,
Oh,
so
wow.
he
He's
knows he's
feeling
losing
good.
weight.
Yeah.
He
Feeling
knows
good.
he's losing weight. It's fantastic. It's good to see him out of the black. It really is. I'm happy for him.
Wait, noon game, Ole Miss. What color we? Let's.
Are
take
we
a
noon
guess.
game? Oh, of course we are. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
Which is crazy. What color we thinking?
I think we'll go chrome white.
I meant for Stoops. I
Oh.
want to see him in the chrome white.
He wears a helmet out there. Noon
I've
game. I say the blue. He'll stick with the blue.
Yeah. I've
Okay.
said they should do it like how baseball is and have the coaches wear the uniforms in all sports. Basketball, the coaches should wear shorts, jersey, and sneaker.
You want to see Jim Boeheim out there walking around basketball
yes.
shorts?
I want Coach Cal in shorts, and I want the 80s high shorts too.
One of the funniest
Jesus.
things you ever see, Brent, and obviously you've never been around for this, but that all the players get a good giggle at when we go on the bowl game weeks, and so we had obviously the one down at the Citrus Bowl, and the weather was beautiful. You could hop in the pool. You see your coaches for the first time ever in a pair of shorts and casual clothes, and it is hilarious.
So good.
They've got the worst tan lines of all time. They're pale and white because they've been wearing long pants the whole year.
Yeah.
They're wearing a casual, a fun Hawaiian shirt, and you're just who is this?
It's like the NFL.
Stoops is
coach
naked
meeting.
in the pool, rolling around.
It's like the NFL coaches meeting at the beginning of the year when they had Andy Reid and they all show up in different clothes, and you're like, "What is
Well,
this?"
yeah.
Can we get the picture of Matt Rule? Insert that. It's the greatest
So
photo of
who's
all
always
time.
the best dressed on those trips?
Well, I mean, the man
Well,
himself
obviously
always.
besides
Yeah.
Stoops. I mean, come on now.
What coach would you want to see most in the actual attire of the team?
Vince basically wears the
Mero.
same clothes, though.
Okay, Vince in full pads would be good.
Oh, yeah.
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 I'd want it. What's West Virginia's basketball? Huggins?
I don't know. The guy with the mullet?
No. He wears the him. Yes,
Yeah.
I'd want to
Yeah.
see him in the high top and jersey.
Yeah.
He'd look really good.
Brent, it's your time to shine.
Okay.
Get our dicks hard with the hard dick question of the week.
All right.
Shout out Dick Gabriel.
Shout out.
Shout out
Dicks.
hard questions.
Yep, the hardest ones.
Shout out hard dicks.
Sure. So Kentucky, obviously, Ole Miss.
Talk about someone as well that looks good in casual clothes. Dick Gabriel with the jeans. Jeez, I keep thinking about him. And the more I think about him, the more I want to find myself a pair.
Can we message and ask him where he got them?
Yeah, we might have to.
It'd probably be one of those. It's like a collector's item and it's out of style or
Yeah.
out of circulation.
What
now.
do you think they were? Gucci?
Coach? They're not Levi's. I can tell you that.
So,
Can I
hard
ask
dick
my
question
question
of the
now?
week,
Yeah.
yes.
Go
So
for it.
after just seeing all the games yesterday and everything, and obviously Kentucky only wins by one possession against Northern Illinois, did Nick Roush jinx the entire game when he said about, I don't know, an hour before kickoff, backup quarterback is going to play for Northern Illinois. 27.5 is a lock.
I hate Nick Roush.
We all hate him.
I don't want to talk about him, but yes, to answer your question, yes.
Would you like another question? Or
The bald man walked past our pregame show and tried to like just give everyone the knucks as if he was,
What, he's the head coach or
yeah,
something?
the Roush dog was back in town.
Okay. No.
Nah.
Did you
Not
give
from
it?
me.
Did you give him
Not
to
from
him?
me.
No? Okay.
Not from me.
Y'all just have a
Stay in
stare
your
down
lane,
or-
Roush.
Yeah.
Rick Naush, stay in it.
How long did he leave the knuckles out for before he was like, all right, I'm not getting this from him? Just a stalemate, an absolute stalemate.
Nah, he. Why does he tweet some stuff like that?
I don't know. I like Nick. I don't know.
No, I
can't
do
answer
too.
for
But
him.
what was he doing? Like, why? Because they played the exact same with their backup quarterback.
As soon as he sent that out, I was no chance Kentucky was going to play.
The
him.
backup quarterback very quickly. Not that anyone cares, but Rocky Lombardi looked like a quarterback.
It's
like
like-
that,
he
yeah.
looks
And he had the
great,
name,
man.
Is that-
the
that's the
look,
best name of
everything.
all time.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
look. He had like the bleached blonde hair. It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
looked like
Do
sunshine.
you have another one for us?
Yeah. Obviously, Kentucky only won by 8. A lot of other teams won by 8. I think you said Ole Miss won by 8.
Copping a couple of hard dicks this week.
Yeah. What's what's your all's concern level going forward for this season for Kentucky because they threw in a dud, or is it just one of those where it's like it's like the Chattanooga game last year?
I'm not concerned because the defense is so good. The end of the first half, they got a touchdown, did they? In the
Yeah,
first
but it
half?
was from the turnover.
That was cheap.
Yeah.
And then the late touchdown was garbage. Like, we really held them after the first drive to basically nothing, points-wise. That was legitimate. So I'm not concerned because the defense is good.
Me and Miles chatting a lot about the game last night while we were watching. When Brad White, he probably, NIU, probably a lighter week of watching film, although knowing him, it probably wasn't. Or he only put in 23 hours of his day.
Correct.
But once he has it figured out, the other team's screwed.
You are done.
Like, it took him one drive to, then obviously they scored first up, but one drive to work out, all right, this is how they're going to attack us. All right, no more.
Nothing.
And they really didn't. They didn't look like scoring again after that. We had the turnover that gave him the ball on like the 20-yard line, and then they didn't look like scoring in the second half after that.
Well, back to concern levels. I mean, what's the concern level now that we're getting into more SEC play? Will's still turning the ball over. Like that one that he got before the 70-yard touchdown to Berrien was like that probably gets picked off 9 times out of 10.
I'm not worried about Will. I think he'll make good decisions when he needs to.
I don't know. Interceptions has still been a problem.
It
4
won't be
games
too
in.
big of a problem, though, because we're only going 60 run, 40 pass.
True.
Yeah.
That's why you do it.
That's another
That's
reason
why
to
you do
pound
it.
it. Yeah.
No, I'm not. Honestly, I'm not worried. I would be worried if the SEC was, I don't know, last year, 2 years ago, if that makes sense.
But they do look kind of weak this year.
But some of them are pretty bad teams. Like even, I know we're 7 in the country, and we are going pretty well.
Yeah.
Clearly, we're undefeated. But we don't look great. We're not blowing teams away. We're not smashing teams. Florida don't look that great. Tennessee barely beat Florida. Ole Miss barely beat Tulane.
Arkansas lost.
Arkansas lost they shouldn't have, but don't get me started.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
had
The
a
bank
vested
account,
interest in
yeah,
that one.
the bank account.
What is
but
it about Texas
just,
A&M and just
It's a tough team to kick against. There's something with them.
there's a lot of teams that just don't look that great, and I think we're as good a chance as any going into Oxford.
Actually,
Yeah.
like, I think we're fine.
I agree.
Like if Ole Miss yesterday, won like 35-3 or something like that, I'd be like, ooh, up against it. But no, they didn't look they looked similar to us.
I don't know if they're on our schedule anytime soon over the next several years, but because they schedule the non-conference games ahead of time.
Yep.
Anyone that looks down the pipe and has Kent State, they're like, we have messed up,
Yeah.
because that is a juggernaut
Yeah.
of a non-conference opponent.
Yeah, absolutely. They always seem to do something.
Yeah, if they can go down there and play with Georgia,
You
then
know
we're in
who's not a
trouble.
juggernaut? USF.
No, South Florida's terrible. Who
Yeah.
they play?
Imagine picking them.
Wow.
I want to move on to something that I think was a bad sign during the week, a real bad sign. And you get all the media personalities, probably someone like Roush, saying, oh, this is so great, camaraderie of the team is so fun, and like they're such a great fun group.
I know where you're going
The
with
fucking
this.
electric slide. Give me a break. Put the electric slide away, all of yous, and just focus on football. We don't need the bullshit dancing in the locker room, Will's shorts that look like he was wearing underwear. I don't know what that deal is.
Are you just anti-fun? The no fun
He's
police?
the fun police. He
are
is
you
the
kidding
fun
me?
police.
I
Who
am not for dancing in the locker room and putting it out. I am for dancing after the game and punching holes in roofs.
Only
I
one
am for
person,
that,
yes,
yes.
yes.
And I am for him dancing. But I guess, okay, I'll preface it in a different way. I am more against dancing in locker rooms because you get all the terrible media people that are like, never write anything bad, are always like, oh, like, favorite ice cream of the week, or this guy, like, said a funny joke, or, like, he plays around with his teammates sometimes. Oh, that's great. Like, everyone was like, I love this from the team. No, I don't.
Would you not love it more? If
So
they, like,
it's
posted-
more of like a micro aggression with you for the media than it is the
Well,
team.
he can't dance. That's the first problem. That's his
that's
first
what it
thing.
is.
I'd much rather than be like, oh, look at this nice video after practice, and it's just Will hitting people with chairs
Yes.
over the head. Like, today was not good enough. We need to pick it up.
Yes.
That's really funny that he's that close to his
Oh, I
teammates.
would have, the O-line practicing the electric slide. Maybe they should just be practicing their blocking. Run through some lockers or something.
I'm with you. And the dancing wasn't good either, especially from Will. You'd think Will would have a little more sway than he did.
Yeah, and the shorts, I'm never going to understand the shorts. I don't know, like, even, I like the shorter shorts of basketball these days, but not the real short ones. I'll still never understand those.
But like you are an over-the-knee guy, I assume.
If you around the knee, about knee level.
I don't
about
know.
knee level.
I'm more of like I think five inseams pretty okay.
Around? What about
Well,
on,
all right,
what about
so
on your
if,
knees?
All right, so if this is
5
going to be
in.
like, so this is like 5 inch, like this is.
Yeah, that's okay.
This is proper.
Fine.
I think.
Yeah, that's all right. But I'm talking the real short ones. I never understand.
Like 3 inch seam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's hope Jordan Wright doesn't
He
wear
likes
any,
5 inches more than 3
Yeah,
inches.
let's hope Jordan Wright doesn't wear any shorts like
Him.
that, because that could
He
be,
does.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fashion advice from Penna Deep.
Yeah.
All right.
5 inches over 3. All right. Twitter questions this week.
Woo.
Randy, longest name ever, will kick us off.
Let me see it.
Out.
I want to try to say it. Oh, that's actually it.
Yeah,
I
he
thought
changed it.
I
No,
thought-
remember? Because we said it's the longest
Yeah,
name
yeah,
ever. He
yeah.
just changed it to longest name ever. So that was good by Randy. Out of you three, who's most likely to go to jail for vehicular manslaughter,
What the fuck?
marry a cougar, and miss a field goal in overtime versus Texas A&M?
Okay, I'll say Brent for the last one.
Yeah, you're definitely you're the most likely to miss the field goal, so definitely Brent.
Oh my
Marry a cougar. I don't know if he means the actual animal or just an older lady.
You actually would be that one, because we don't have eligibility left. You could still play.
True. I am
Yeah.
still in college.
He's the only one
7th
that
year.
could even do that, so he would be the A&M.
Yeah. Marry a cougar.
There's no cougars for you because you're already.
I'm already old.
I would say that's me then.
Yes, you're the
and you're
youngest.
stuck killing somebody. Manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
Vehicular manslaughter.
Jesus
What part?
Christ.
Okay, he definitely was sitting there typing this and was like, "All right, let's do something."
What's
funny.
the most violent
A&M's
crime I
funny,
could think of?
Marry a cougar. Kill someone. That's the third thing.
Oh my! Guess who's question number 3? Are we going even? Andy Epstein.
Andy Epstein.
What is the over/under on yards for the C-Rod history game next week? And where can Andy Epstein link up with you all in Oxford? Because we in there.
We are not going to Oxford, which sucks.
We.
Unless you guys are, which wouldn't surprise me if you all go and haven't told me.
I may walk. Down
I have
there.
to go. I'm doing the pregame down there.
Oh, like you all are going to Oxford?
I don't
I'm
know
going.
if I'm going.
I'm going. I'm
He's
going to do the
going.
pregame.
Oh, I didn't even know y'all were going. Well, have fun.
What's the over/under on yards for C-Rod?
C-Rod, are we? This is, and I'll save this more for the preview. He has a huge day receiving.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
All right.
I think total yards is 150.
Okay, Brent.
Total yards for C-Rod, I'll go 150 is about right. 140, 150, 160.
I'll go
somewhere around there.
I'll go
Yeah.
123. I think we'll now that they have to acknowledge
123?
now that they have to acknowledge the run game a little bit more. I think we air it out. I don't think the 60-40 thing is going to happen, even though we heard it here first. I have a question for you then. For all of us here, first play of the game on offense, is it Chris Rodriguez run or is it like play action?
I would bet my life it's like a play action screen for a tight end seam up the middle.
No.
Almost can guarantee it.
Chris Rodriguez straight at the throat.
I think it's a run too because
Yes.
I think Stoops will be like they think that we think that they think that we think that they think that
We
they
think
think
that they think that
that we're
we
gonna
think.
that they think that we're gonna run the ball, so they think we're gonna go play action, but we're gonna run the ball and double bluff.
And we just take a knee.
We just punt it. Stoops is like kick it.
I was thinking flea flicker maybe.
I want Chris Rodriguez.
Ooh,
Actually,
Flicker would
that's
be
not
really
that's
good.
not a bad
Really
idea.
good.
To hook and ladder.
But they think that's coming.
Yes, correct.
So instead of doing the flea
Flea
flicker,
flicker, Chris fakes it back and then runs it.
runs.
Yeah.
See, we should be offensive coordinators.
Why are we
I swear to
even
God,
doing
we
this?
should be
Brad
calling
White
plays.
wants to be an offensive coordinator. We want to be an offensive coordinator. Let's just make it happen.
Brad White could not figure us out because he wouldn't know what's coming.
He could not.
It's like, why'd they punt it on 2nd and 2? I don't know, and I can't figure out how to
They're
stop
in
it.
field goal formation on their own goal line.
Quickly, how about NIU's quarterback last night with the punt?
Oh, yeah, loved
And
it.
may have been the best punt on the field that night.
Loved it. And also, I think it was, I don't get it, just call people out in the show.
Clearly.
It was Justin Roland goes, punting with the quarterback's a great idea when it works, not so much when it doesn't. As if like he had it blocked and returned to the house. He kicked a touchback. So guys kick touchbacks all the time. What do you mean it didn't work?
But that, you could say that about every single play in football.
Yeah, and every punt.
Like that one.
Using your punter is a good idea when it works, but
Yeah.
when it doesn't work.
Yeah, that was a great pass till it got picked off, and then it got a touchdown, but then it got picked off.
Right,
It's like, what?
exactly. Brian Frick. Is the Stoops signature coffee swirl, which he trademarked on here,
Wow.
clockwise or counterclockwise?
He goes, what is this, counter?
No, this is clockwise.
I think he's gone clockwise. I think he
Yeah,
does
that's
this one,
clockwise.
doesn't he?
Yeah.
Clockwise? Oh, does he think he goes
I think
it?
he-
Yeah,
Wait, does
yeah,
he go
little canter.
inside or
I
out?
think
I
he's
think he's
counter.
more of an inside guy, though. He just
It depends what hemisphere he's in.
Is what?
Depends what hemisphere.
like
'Cause-
if
yes, like if he
Mercury's
went
in
down to
retrograde
Australia,
or-
if he went down to Australia, you know how the bathrooms, the toilets spin the other way when you flush it?
This way or this way?
He'd change it.
Is that a real thing?
What do you think, Lincoln? Not an Otterbox. What do you think gives C-Rod more power next week? Coming off a suspension or being engaged now?
I doubt. Never mind.
Shout out engagement, by the way.
Engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably that, because he's got some bills coming his way.
Yeah,
And
he'd
he
want to.
needs-
He'd want to start making the money.
He needs to start getting some more NIL money than he's had before. Maybe pick up a side job somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not at the hospital.
All right, Brent, thanks.
Shay Ellis, do you think we should use every single scholarship left on offensive line, or only 99% of the scholarships left on offensive line?
How many scholarships do we have left?
I don't know if we have any. I mean, they mean future ones?
I guess who is this?
Shay Ellis.
Is it a guy or a girl? I don't know.
Shay would be a girl's name, wouldn't it?
Well,
Maybe.
Shay Patterson's a guy.
Yeah, Shay Patterson. That's true. Let me have a look.
Anyways, whoever it is.
There might be a guy. I don't know. There's a guy and a girl in there. But he retweeted the Stoops comment, which was good.
You can't do that. You just find 5 good ones. That's what you need.
Yeah. I think if it's... No, I would probably be wrong. Would Slarman have recruited this intake? A few of them, obviously.
He would have been involved.
A few of them, yeah. It might start to show that we don't have him as the recruiter.
Yeah, you can say this is maybe very wrong. I feel like that's a position that you can't solve as well in the portal. You've got to recruit it and develop it well.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we had...
And it does take a long time to develop them, too.
Yes,
It's very
yes.
hard to see if a high school O-lineman is actually going to be good, because sometimes they're just good because they could bully people, i.e. Keontae Goodwin.
Well, that's the thing. Like, we don't even know if he's...
Well, he hasn't been out there because he
fair.
just bullied people. He's got a bit of work to do, right?
Yeah, that's not to say he's, like, bad or anything,
No.
but people are like, why don't you play him? Well, he's been here for 3 games.
Yeah.
4 games. I mean...
Tim Kondo.
Instead of Tim Couch, Tim Kondo.
Curious about Isaiah Cummings. He looked to be a star in the making last year, but doesn't seem to get many snaps or targets now. Has he been slowed by his injury recovery, or are the other tight ends just that much further ahead? I'll answer this one. I would have agreed with you before the season started and before I talked to a couple of sources, and I would have also said the same thing about Keaton Upshaw. Supposedly, during fall camp and spring ball and spring camp, the other tight ends just went past those two because I thought they were going to be the feature too.
Yeah.
Supposedly, Bates, Dingle, even a bit of Caddis, those guys have just gone past them. I think Isaiah Cummings, and we saw it in the first game, unfortunately, dropped a lot of balls during camp and he dropped a touchdown. So I think, he might just have the yips a little bit with his hands or something, and it takes a while to get back once it gets in your head a little bit, but apparently dropping a lot of balls in practice, and I'm sure he'll be fine. I mean, he's a great athlete. He'll be back at some stage. But, maybe not the star that we all thought he was going to be on this offense this year.
Who asked that question?
Tim Kondo.
Are you and Tim like in a love affair? That's the first Twitter question you've ever answered seriously, I think.
Honestly.
Like elaborately answered.
Yep.
You actually gave an honest,
We
genuine
gave an
answer.
honest answer to the three.
We did.
Yeah.
You, individually. Normally it's just like, that's a dumb question, we're moving on.
That wasn't a dumb question.
It wasn't, and you gave it a good answer.
Because we never really get any good questions.
It's
That's
good
called
to see
growth.
maturity.
That's not
It's
true.
maturity.
We get some good questions.
He's maturing in front of our eyes. I'm a proud
All right,
father
here we go.
now.
Rochelle Baker, if you were asked to be on a game reality show, shut the fuck up. I don't care about that
Wow.
question.
What?
Is that better?
Dude, come on. I was actually,
Is that better?
I was interested to see where that was going.
I liked what you're doing.
I like the out of the box.
Yeah.
Rochelle Baker.
Rachel or Rochelle?
Rochelle, if you were asked to be on a game/reality show, which one would it be and why?
Family Feud's the best. That's the one for me.
Survivor for me. I love Survivor. Absolutely love it. And I'd love to know if I'm going to get voted out early or if I'm going to actually stick in there.
I would say you would probably last like 3 weeks because it would take like maybe
Because
like
they do vote out the guys that are good athletically at that point because they're like, he's the threat.
Game show? Is game show
No, I
in
just
there?
think it would take 2 people to like figure you out. Like it'd be like 2 or 3 weeks and like, oh, okay, he's just fucking with us the entire time, and then they'd get you off the island.
Love Island. That's what I'd go.
Survivor, if he was on it, he wouldn't even turn up to the island.
You wouldn't even be there.
No, think smarter, not harder. Why would I want to show up to do that when I could just sit at home?
Did she say game show?
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually funny, and I'll tell it quickly. We went as a family to Orlando, Florida.
Yeah.
When I was very little. We went to Jeopardy. Or no, not Jeopardy. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? They had it live on set there.
Hell yeah.
The way they picked who got to be the contestant that day was they asked a question to the crowd. Everyone had a
fastest finger first or
fastest
whatever.
finger first to win.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, we've got a winner. It flashes 2 years old. Raven Butler. My little sister was just hitting the thing, hit the right button at just the right time. Raven got to – now, luckily, they let my mom go down there with her and, like, help her with the questions. But it literally – everyone's like, who won? And this little child in the seat in my mom's lap. And at first, they were like, oh, like, my mom won it. No,
Raven.
The little girl got it.
And everyone thought, like, she did it by mistake. No, she knew. Just like she knows Alabama money line every week.
Genius.
How'd she go? How much money did she make on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Or did she not get on the hot seat?
She got, like – I think she got 2 or 3 questions. She didn't last very long.
Okay. Can we get the Aussie punter meeting Dabo story? Trenton Ree.
Whoa. Ooh. How did you
met him?
I don't want to do it just because
maybe we save
people
that for
are yeah, we might save it for a space.
Yeah.
You like Dabo a lot, though.
No.
Wait, how did they know? Did that get brought up in the space?
Matt brought it up in his space.
Oh, the one where you became a star?
He wanted to put the pressure on me. Yes. The one that he wanted to put the pressure. He wanted to put the pressure on me to say something, and I just didn't want to do it.
We'll do it in a Twitter space then.
But that Twitter space resulted on my name being said on Pick'em, Barstool Pick'em, which was great.
So now you're a superstar.
Ethan Page, would Stoops Coffee? Wow, we got a couple coffee questions.
Wow.
Trademark do well in Lexington. Oh, he means like Stoops Coffee Co., like a shop. Or does he have a lifetime contract with Starbucks? I would say it would do really well. Like that coffee shop would actually do really, really well.
Really well.
Yeah, like that would actually be pretty cool. And why Stoops hasn't done that, I'm not sure. Because that would be a great gimmicky thing.
Maybe we should do it. We have the facilities. There's a whole bar down here. Just throw in some coffee in the morning.
Max used to run a coffee shop here.
Yeah.
Him and Mason ran a coffee shop together for a little bit.
I remember this story. I remember
what
this
was
story.
it? Badass Coffee.
Badass Coffee.
Yeah. But don't bring it up with Mason because his cat died from drinking all the coffee, had a heart attack, so we don't talk about it.
Can you at least give the people who are listening who have no idea what you're talking about the backstory to this, or do you just want to leave the ambiguity there?
We'll leave it.
Okay.
Matt Powell. Chicken Parmigiana and Tim Tams or Buffalo chicken dip and Oreos. I'm guessing that's aimed at me. Well, chicken Parmigiana and Tim Tams.
It's not all about you.
Wait, what's a Tim Tam?
Well, because they're Buffalo chicken dip question.
Yes, and it's good.
So do you want Buffalo chicken dip and Oreos?
What's the
chicken Parmigiana and Tim Tams?
What's that?
What's a Tim Tam?
Tim Tams are like chocolate biscuits, Australian chocolate biscuits. They're pretty good.
Is he saying the two things mixed?
I think he's saying just as a meal.
I like chicken parm a lot.
Yeah.
I'll go chicken
parm's
parm.
good.
Zach Hunt. Lucky I say that name well.
Zach Hunt.
Zach Hunt.
With an H.
Zach Hunt.
Oh, my God.
Zach Hunt.
That is not great for your accent.
It's not.
When was the last – Zach Hunt, thanks for that. When was the last time 2 UK wide receivers had over 100 yards and 2 TDs in the same game? I mean we don't have the stats in here.
Statisticians.
You got anything for Zach Hunt?
What would you think it is if you could
Brent,
guess?
Zach Hunt?
Louisville 2016, I would guess.
Yeah, I would bet. Well, who? Juice Johnson and
didn't Dorian have a big game that game too?
Yeah, he might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were there for that, weren't you?
No. I was celebrating my
say-
25th birthday back in Australia.
Wow. I would say at some point there's been like one of the non-conference games where we ran the score up a little bit that we had that.
Probably. That would
with
make
like
sense.
Patrick Tolles in the area.
No, you know when I think it might have been? Couldn't it have been ULM
Tennessee?
last year?
Tennessee last year maybe.
ULM last year.
Wandell and who? Josh? Did Josh go for over
Yeah,
100?
I think Josh did.
I'm going to see if it's Tennessee last year.
Ridge Life, well, we'll move on
Okay.
while you look it up. Ridge Life 606. 2 easy ones. If you could pick a pro team to play for, who would it be?
Green Bay Packers.
Who is your favorite NFL head coach?
Mike McDaniel. I love that guy.
The Miami guy?
Yeah, he's awesome.
I'd play at Miami, but it'd be Andy Reid for sure for me. The intensity that he throws the challenge flag, the way that he always
Waddle.
talks about eating a big hunk of meat.
I like that a
I
lot.
like him a lot. I think he's the best.
I'd go.
Or sneaky just because I think it would be funny to see him walking around the not the locker room, but the facilities. Matt Rule.
Matt Rule would be great. I'd play Arizona. I like Arizona a lot.
Okay.
I think the weather would be good.
Yep.
Hot.
Sorry, I'm
Adjust
just
the
worried
mic,
about you.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then coach. Yeah, I'd go Andy Reid too.
Mark Stoops burner. Brent, Max, and Miles all stranded on Tropical Island. Who lasts the longest and why? Well,
That is a loaded
we
question.
all wouldn't last long if it was Brent supposed to be bringing the equipment to survive, as he'd turn up and he'd be like, "Sorry guys, forgot it." We would make a hell of a podcast there. Be a great podcast. I think me and Miles would probably eat Brent first.
Just because I'm the biggest, right?
Yes,
Is that what it
correct.
is? Okay.
So I think he would go first.
Okay.
Then me and you. I'd just swim back. I back in my swimming ability to get back to a main island.
If you did that, I would hedge. I would stay and just think you'd die from swimming. And then I'd be the last one standing. Survivor.
So you
Me.
probably, yep.
Yeah.
Sean Frazier, how far of a field goal could Max kick? Oh,
He can't
I
kick.
can't kick. Maybe 30 yards. Aaron Clark's tried to call both of us
Yeah.
right now.
Also, was that
Shout
That
out
is
Clark
something
Family
like
Farms.
when we say that, I think people joke and are like, "No, like Max is really good." Yeah, at punting,
Yeah.
he cannot kick.
No, I
What-
could maybe kick a 35-yard field goal.
No.
I've tried it. No, I have. I'm serious. I've
Okay.
kicked off to the end zone once.
The best thing was, and you're gonna not like this, and I don't care. When you were going through the NFL draft process, didn't work out. Sorry.
Correct.
wow?
Some of the teams told you, did they not? Hey, can you kick off for
Yeah.
us? You're like, yeah, I'll work on it. No,
No.
you
No.
cannot kick off in the NFL.
Wow.
There's some
Neither could I, though. So
Yeah, sure.
neither
could
could
I.
you.
Neither could I. Yeah.
Neither could Austin McGinnis. If Austin can't get a chance, then none of us
we
can.
are
Yeah.
screwed. Yep.
Isaiah, do you think this was just a bad game for the team or just looking ahead to Ole Miss? We've answered that. No, there's no look-ahead games ever in college football. You get 12 opportunities to go out and play. You just go out there and play them. Paul Page, possibility that Stoops has been conservative on offense/defense/special team play calling against the two non-conference opponents, not wanting to show too much to Ole Miss scouts. He didn't have a question mark, so I'm not sure if it's a
don't-
question.
Say it,
that's a-
say it again.
So, like, are we holding things back against the non-conference teams?
I think we're past holding stuff back. Like
do
maybe
I.
a few gadget
We're a
plays.
month in.
And when you tied 14-14 against
like,
NIU,
you
you're
can't
probably
lose.
not holding it back.
No,
He also said, do the Wildcats change their blocking scheme with the turn of C-Rod?
I don't know what that stuff
Wouldn't
does.
have a
Yeah.
clue.
Not a clue.
No
I don't know
idea.
what it is now.
Yeah. Let
So
alone what it will
What it could be, I
Yeah.
couldn't know.
Maybe they'll change it in terms of they'll just be better.
What,
Now
like,
they'll just be better.
what if that was the, like, we should go from letting them rush Will to pushing them away from Will? That's the change in scheme this week.
Daddy Fat Sacks, last one. Biggest heel. Brett Favre stealing $5 million from poor people or Billy R. Sports' hatred of kids? So in the post-game and pre-game show, Billy
Yeah.
is the, what do you call him, Brent? The
Producer.
Producer.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't mind it in the pre-game, but in the post-game, lots of kids have been calling up, and he doesn't like kids' questions because he just thinks that they're just like, we should
Past
be
their
having
bedtime.
we
Past their
should be
bedtime.
having a serious sports talk, and kids just want to be like, how good was Tavion today? And then Matt's like, hey, buddy, like, and he's real nice to them, and Billy just wants to have a serious sports show, right? So he says, no, I'll have one kid or kids, but I need to space them out. No kids in a row. So what people started doing was the parents would call in, say they had a question, and then as soon as they put them on, the kid would start talking. And he got really, really angry. And now because it's become a thing, basically all the calls on every post-game show are just all kids. and he can't get rid of them, and he hates it.
Just got to bite the tongue, man.
So I say hatred of kids is way worse than stealing $5 million off poor people.
Well, what if the poor people are children? Assuming some of them are.
Most kids are poor.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of kids would have much money to their name.
No.
Brett Favre.
Yeah, I'll go the kids as well. I think
That was a bit of an obscure question.
Well, when you only beat NIU by 8, what do you want us to do? I mean, what?
Correct. But here's an obscure man for you.
Oh yes.
Larry Vaught.
He doesn't hate kids.
He does not hate kids. Larry's a big fan of kids. Actually
kids.
had a high school intern with him yesterday at the Chili Festival.
How was that?
Yeah.
Hey, fantastic. Larry hit me up about 3 times. He probably tagged me yesterday in a combined total of 15 tweets. He sent me a combined total of about 35 photos. He found out 25 different ways to tweet out the same photo with different tags. I love Larry. Larry gave me like the biggest chili rundown like of all time. Like what to look for in the chili, what's good, what's bad, what he likes in chili, what he doesn't like, etc., etc. We tried 25 different chilies yesterday, Miles, at the Wilderness Trail and Distillery Chili Festival.
What makes a good chili for you?
A lot of spice. I like it
spice.
really, really
You
hot.
like hot sauce in
I like
there?
some heat.
Yeah,
I like
real
some
heat. The ones that were bland, well, when I say bland, they had flavour, but they weren't hot. That wasn't for me. They got the worst scores. Have no idea who won. Had to leave before it finished, but did get all my rankings in. Larry surrounding himself with the usual group.
Do you do the skyline with the noodles underneath?
Yeah. I do not like the
so
skyline,
one of the 25 had noodles in it,
Yep.
and that wasn't for me. I'd probably do chili over rice.
I like chili in a bowl with cornbread.
Okay.
Little cornbread.
Not a cornbread and chili guy. I need peanut butter jelly.
What?
You don't eat chili with peanut butter jelly?
No.
You don't like dip it in it, but like you can.
Or what are you, Elvis?
No.
It's the weirdest combination
I've
ever heard.
No,
That's not a normal
growing up, we would like go to my grandmother's house. She would make chili, the best chili on the planet, and then as a little side sandwich, you either make grilled cheese or peanut butter jelly sandwich. You can make a choice. So after I eat the chili, it's like, oh, that was good, kind of full. Now I want something that's kind of desserty. So you get peanut butter jelly, drink some milk, and then you're just
That's
happy
definitely
lad.
one of those things that, like, growing up, it was like, oh, this is like every family does this. You're the only family that does that.
Yeah.
I want to hear.
Yeah.
I bet more people eat peanut butter jelly
With chili?
Peanut butter jelly sandwich with chili. You don't dip
And
it
you
in
wash
the
it
chili
down with milk.
after you eat the chili.
Well, obviously not with it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like milk anyway, so I probably could drink it with the chili too.
Like, if you showed up to KS Bar for a meal and you got
Ordered
a
milk.
pint of milk, chili, and a PB&J, you'd be like, this is a good-looking meal.
You think I'm kidding? It's like an actual thing with me that like I love milk way too much. Like my friend's house, like it pisses me off when I go to my friend's house and they don't have milk. I feel like it should be like a staple that everyone is stocked up.
I don't
on
even
milk.
drink milk ever.
What kind of milk do you like? Oat? Almond? Breast?
Wow. So
Goat,
growing up, we had 2%.
camel,
And then my
cow,
Skim?
we had the transition to skim, so I do drink skim milk quite a
cat,
bit. Cat milk.
chocolate.
Isn't cat milk just the same as skim milk or 2% milk?
I don't drink milk. My dad goes through about a gallon of milk a day. A
Yeah.
day.
Shout out Dan Butler.
Yeah.
Dan Butler.
Well, that's my thing.
He rolls through some
Even
milk.
if you don't like to drink milk, do you at least keep milk in your fridge?
No, I don't ever use milk for anything.
Well, I was about to say, I feel like even if you don't drink it, you should have it for cooking purposes.
I mean, maybe like cream.
Or if you ever want like a cookie or a brownie, keep milk.
Brownies at the no.
That's a stance I am like really hard on. Like,
You love milk. Good song by Kings of Leon.
We've gone past the hard dick stance,
Yeah.
please. That's not the question. This is the Larry Vaught question.
Yeah, what's the question?
Oh,
what
well, I wasn't making a
stance are you
stance.
hard on?
So let me get back. I didn't take my medicine today. Give me a second.
Hold on. So the Larry Vaught
We're at the
question
Larry
of
Vaught
the week.
Yep.
We love
We're there.
Larry.
I love him.
Love him.
The best.
He
Great.
He don't like people like us. I
Nope.
did actually tweet out a photo of me and him yesterday.
Did
Did you
well?
see that?
Good looking photo.
Great looking photo.
Good looking
I
photo.
put out an interesting stat. I said I'd be by far the oldest athlete he's ever had a photo with.
Probably no NFL players that he's gotten.
No.
I would imagine that's probably correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got a Larry Vaught obscure question for us?
I do, and this kind of plays off the heels of a story from last night. Went out to Tin Roof with one of my brother's friends last night. We were just, kind of hanging around. Saw this guy, looked exactly like Jake Gyllenhaal. That was his doppelganger, so I obviously brought it up. I was like, you do realize you look like Jake Gyllenhaal. He told me that my doppelganger was
Jesus.
No. The first time I ever gotten this, I think this is better than the Jesus
Brad
compliment.
Pitt.
The dad from Reba.
I don't know.
Have you ever watched
look it
Reba?
up.
Well,
No.
I don't think it's accurate, but it's still
It's going to be really accurate.
Okay, is
I
there
know.
a question?
yes. What's the strangest compliment you've ever got?
Christopher Rich.
I guess I don't know.
It's the only dad I
There's
can
been
find.
a couple of strange compliments that I've gotten at about 2 a.m. saying that was good, which was not true.
Was this – how many drinks deep was this guy?
Did he? I mean,
We'll put this graphic up. This looks nothing like you.
I agree. Well, he's a little aged in that photo. Maybe go to the one where he was in the show, like 2004, maybe. Yeah, I didn't.
I mean,
Absolutely
I
not.
didn't, dude. He pulled it out of his ass. That was like my favorite show. Not my favorite show. I do enjoy watching the show when I would eat chili and. peanut
well,
butter
I'll
bread
give
from my
you
grandma's house.
I'll give you 2 doppelgangers that people say. I'll give you 2 for me that people say regularly. Well, when I say people, Grant McInnes started it. 1, Mr. Bean. 2, the
Yeah.
asparagus from VeggieTales.
VeggieTales. VeggieTales. The
Okay.
VeggieTales.
And 3,
hold on.
the sloth from Ice Age.
Hold on.
Oh my God. That's a good one.
VeggieTales. Can we put a picture of this up?
Yeah,
'Cause it's
yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
Yeah.
It's not really good.
So I guess.
It's
Oh,
really
and
good.
Mehmet. Is it Mehmet?
I'm-
Mehmet
so I'm-
Ozil,
so I'm
the soccer
transitioning-
player. Have you seen him?
No.
No.
I'll show you.
So
Hold
I'm
on.
transitioning my question from that to like, what do you all get told as your doppelganger?
It's something about the eyes or
It
something.
is,
It's
it
good.
is. What,
Hold on.
who do you get told you look like other than Lance
I
Butler?
I get the Peaky
Tom.
Blinders guy,
Yeah,
The
Tommy.
Tommy Shelby.
never watched the show actually.
Good show.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I can see that. What's it?
Oh, I also get Tyler Beisner, but that's a disgraceful one. TJ Beisner's son. I look nothing like him.
Also a
yeah,
twin.
you get Tommy Shelby,
That's the only one I've gotten recently.
which is a compliment for you. Mine are all terrible
Yeah.
looking
Tommy
people.
Shelby's a good looking. Yeah.
That's actually a good pull.
Who? Tommy Shelby.
Yeah, I would be happy if someone told me I look like that.
Yeah.
But I've only been told I look like Jesus. And back when I was in high school, I used to have short hair and glasses, and they said Clark Kent, even though I was like a twig.
Clark
so,
Kent.
Yep.
Okay,
Not
you give
anymore.
us. You normally each week. We're about to wrap things up. You normally give us each week, Brent. You say you can't give us any other games, but you can always say if the Packers are going to win or lose. They're winning or losing today.
Losing.
Wow. Who do they play?
Bucks.
Bucks.
Tampa
Yeah,
Bay.
yeah.
Which is not to say that the Bucks are great this year. They're just playing in Florida. So if you want to, which people listening, this is kind of irrelevant. If you guys want to make some money today, bet the
Take
Bucks.
the Bucks.
Yep.
I changed my answer. I'd want to play for Tampa Bay just because I like Brady. If I
But,
could get a
okay,
year with
what
him.
if you
Come
could
on.
put Brady anywhere in Arizona, right?
He actually might be in Miami soon.
Yeah.
It depends.
That's all we got. You got anything else for us this week?
I don't think so. I'm
Brent?
excited for Ole Miss.
Twitter
So
Spaces.
am I. I'm excited for Oxford.
Are they both? How high are they going to
So
be ranked? you
excited for
think?
Oxford.
We are 7th for the first time since 19.
Seventh.
First time
Who
since
dropped?
the 70s.
We are probably
Oklahoma.
doing
Oklahoma,
it. We're
yeah.
probably going to do a Zoom then next week, by the way.
That's cool.
Wait, did Oklahoma lose this week?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
lost to.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
oh,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Kansas
Yeah.
State, the big dog. beat
Yeah,
them,
the big dog.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we can do that, and then we can. Well, we'll just talk about that off air. But we need to do a Zoom mid-October. Too.
Let's talk about it right now
Okay.
on air.
We need to do a Zoom mid-October too for the Friday show. I think before Mississippi State.
Why?
I'll be
Wedding
no.
or you got the Goodfellas, the meet and greet.
Yeah, you got
Yeah,
the.
you
Yeah,
got
I
stuff.
got to go see people from my
Just
school.
very
and-
busy. Very
yeah,
busy.
they wanted to go get pizza and a beer, so I can't do the show this week.
no,
guys. Sorry.
I'll be traveling back from Hilton Head. So
Wow.
Nice.
Yep.
All right. Well,
All right, well-
that's it. Is that all we got?
ending the show with the bang. Do we want to do spaces on Wednesday?
We're going to do the space probably on Wednesday and check it out, but we're going to also poll and just say what do people rather do Wednesday or Fridays. So
Okay.
look out for that poll if you're listening.
I will say the one thing that I think we discussed, we'll do it a little differently than the last one. Brent, you're not talking like you're going to be out.
Yeah.
Because it worked
Yeah, that
way.
was terrible.
Once we kicked you out, it was way better.
You all. only kicked me out for like 10 seconds before you ended the thing.
The funniest thing was I kicked you out, and then immediately you requested to talk. And I was like, you think I'm letting you back in?
Well, I didn't
No.
know what was happening. Then Max called me and was like, dude, it was actually funny. Like, we're not just giving you a hard time. You were a full minute behind. So
Way behind.
I would like to have a chance at redemption.
It would be – I think you can do this. So I'm probably just saying something that already exists. But it would be kind of funny to record those sometimes.
Yeah, you can. You can just do it from your phone.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
That's it.
Well,
Thanks.
Thanks.